Hello everyone, welcome to Tutors AM, and in this video we're going to be looking at calculus. So when we talk about calculus, we have two things involved. We have the differentiation part and the integration part. But today we're going to be focusing on the differential part, which is also known as a derivative of something. So let's say we have been given something. Let's say we have been given y is equivalent to 3x to the power 4, 3x to the power 4. So how can we differentiate this or find the derivative rather of this whole thing? So there's some derivative rules which we can go over, but in this video we're just going to be looking at the derivative of the power rule. That's what it's called. So if I want to differentiate this, I'm going to go ahead and write my memory aid for finding the derivative, which is dy, which is my dy over my d of x, and then all these will be equal to n. I represent what the n, I represent what everything stands for. So our n is the power, our a is a coefficient of x, and then our x will be reduced by 1. Our power will be reduced by 1. So if I want to find the derivative of such a thing, I'm going to say this is equal to my power, which is 4, times my number, which is my a, which is 3, and then my x, and then this will become 4 minus 1 because my power is 4, so I'll have 4 minus 1. So this will be therefore equal 4 times 3, that is 12, x to the power 3 when we subtract the powers. So this is what we basically mean by finding the derivative of something. Now let's go ahead and try another example. Let's say we have been given, but as a memory aid, I'm just going to keep this. Let's just write this down, so that we'll be using this a lot, so you just have to commit it to memory. So let's say we have this, and then we have been told that our y is equal to 2x. So if you're very good, you already know that the derivative of this is just a constant, the number 2. So but how can you show that your 2 is correct? Because mostly in mathematics I would want you to show. So I can say my dy, and then my dx is equal to, what is my power? So notice this is power 1, so I'm going to have 1 multiplying my number to my x, and then I'll have 1 minus 1. So this will be just 2, and then notice I'll have x to the power 0, and then we know that x to the power 0 is 1, so I'll have 1, so I'll have 2 times 1, which is 2. So this is a derivative, so this is how we express that. And then again, what you have to understand is that the derivative of a constant is always 0. That's one thing that has to be understood. Let's go ahead and try out another example. Let's say y is equal to 2x plus 3. So as I said, 3 is a constant, so the derivative of 3 is just 0, but we can find the derivative of 2x, so we can say dy of dx is equivalent to the power. This is 1, so we'll have 1 multiplying 2, and then we'll have x to the power 1 minus 1 plus the derivative of any number, 3, 5, may it be 10, is always 0, so we'll have 0. So once we do that, we're going to find that our dy of dx is just 2. Let's go ahead and try out another example. Let's just go ahead and try out another example. Let's try an example that, let's try this. S is equal to this minus that. So let's say you have been given something like this. How can you find the derivative of such a problem? So you can just basically write your dy of dx. I know some of you know that apart from dy dx, we can use other things to represent that, but I'm going to just give it very basic. So when we have t2, how can we evaluate t2? We, if you know that t2 is basically 2, I think I can just write that. Then there is no need for explanation. And then here, these two come to the front, so I'll have minus 2. And then t is to the power 2, so it will be just reduced by 1. So then my dy of dx is equal to t. So then this is my dy dx. Let's go ahead and try out another example. Let's go ahead and try out another example. Let's say we have been given, sorry, let's say we have been given y is equal to 3x 3x squared plus 2x minus 6. So I'm going to say dy dx is going to be equal. Now we can find the derivatives of everything separately. If you have a problem finding them directly, you can go ahead and find them separately on any, or on your back of the book, back of the paper. But yeah, I love doing this directly, so I'm just simply going to bring my 2 to the front, so I'll have 2 multiplying my 3, and then I'll have my x, and then this is to the power 2, so I'll have 2 minus 1. The power reduces by 1, and then this is to the power 1, so it will be just 1 times 2, so this is just the coefficient, which is as 2, and then the derivative of any number is just 0, so you can, no need of writing that this will be 0. That's just tedious and time wasting. So we'll have 2 times 3, which is 6, and then we'll have x to the power 1, and then you know that your x to the power 1 is just basically that plus 2. So then we have gotten our derivative. Yeah, so this is how we basically find our derivatives. So please like the video, share with friends, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.